Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. This weather has made me absolutely insane because I get excited. Yes! I get incredibly excited when I look outside in the morning and there's sun is out and there are birds. And I know it's going to be like a fresh window open day. It's going to be just beautiful all day. And then typical Colorado, the next day it is snowing. It's freezing outside. You're turning your furnace back on. I mean, sometimes you got to think in Colorado, your temperature system with your home is just up and down and crazy and all around because Colorado weather is so insane. It's bonkers. So you want to call my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air and have them come out for that special spring tune-up. It's only $99 and they make sure that all the filters are changed. They check all the different sensors and they make sure that between the ups and the downs and the temperature of your home, you are going to be comfortable. And you may think to yourself, well, my system, it's running fine. When I want cold air, it pumps out cold air and vice versa with the hot air. What if I told you maybe your system is running hard in order to produce that temperature for you? Think about it. Is it being bogged down from years of use? Does it need to be cleaned out, kind of tuned up? Just like a vehicle. You want to get the most bang for your buck. And when that energy bill comes, you want to know that you are saving money and you can do that. Or maybe you need a brand new AC unit altogether or furnace. Call my friends, Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air, or better yet, to read the info on their spring sale right there on the homepage. Just go to polarbearpha.com. That's polarbearpha.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
We get our necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart. And maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the newest episode today. And I hope you're having a great day. We are technically recording this on Easter Sunday. I am so tired and it is only 4:22 p.m. I don't know if it's not tryptophan because we didn't have any turkey.
I think it's just, you know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that it has been a 3-day weekend with our very active 7-year-old who only wants to play with people 100% of the time. And you and I are just tired.
I'm so tired.
What were we thinking so we have 2 older kids and then there's a good difference in age, decade or so.
Yeah.
Between our youngest. Why did we not have another child with Murphy?
Because I was barren.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you had some things.
And I couldn't have any more children. But the good news is if I were to die, men usually move on much quicker than women.
They do.
And so men, you as a man would most likely find a woman very quickly. And then, you hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
And then the dude who's like Dr. Phil's age with some hot 20-something-year-old, even though Dr. Phil would never do this to Robin, it would never happen.
You're ugly. You are disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Guys will leave and then they'll start whole new families. Like, look at Alec Baldwin. That's family 2.0.
I think we're going to see, we're going to see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's going to be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
Let's not go back to the Alec Baldwin show.
As a woman, I just want to go around this ride one time, and then the kids. I couldn't imagine being, in my 60s and still having babies. I think that's just bizarre, but that's what happens a lot of the time. A lot of the time, older men will find a second wife or they'll be widowed and they'll try to find some, and it'll be, what did you put in this coffee?
Rum.
Did you put your cream? Oh, God, it tastes like shite.
I was making a coffee for me. I made 2 for me.
Oh, you made 2 cups of coffee for yourself?
You dick.
You know how you get on muscle memory and you start making coffee?
Oh.
And I made one for you. And then slowly after I realized that I had made the same cup of coffee, because we take ours differently, I tried to top off yours with the cream that you like.
Well, here's why they're different, because Ryan does everything 67.5% healthier than I do. And so his is sugar-free, dairy-free, love-free,
gluten-free,
happy-free.
Yeah.
And mine is like, oh my God, creme brulee coffee cream. With chunks of cookie dough and brownies. Yes, of course.
You really do have a palate of like a 12-year-old boy.
I really do. It's so bad. We went out the other night because Murphy had volleyball and Ryan said, let's just sneak away during practice and go get dinner. And I said, great. So we go to this Italian place and I got pizza rolls.
Hold on. Italian place? We went to a pizza shop.
Well, I mean, it's Italian though. It sold like calzones and Italian stuff.
Yeah.
So I ordered some pizza rolls. God, I said, that sounds so good. Like a typical 12-year-old. And he got a vegetable wrap. And I'm like, and it was wrapped in vegetables. I mean, it was vegetables on top of vegetables. And so it looked like you were taking your daughter out for dinner and she ordered the disgusting
pepperoni rolls.
Yeah, greasy food. And you were like, no. I don't know. There are many times where like drinking this shitty coffee where I think, oh my God, you were so much more of a grown-up in this way than I am.
I'm a grown-up in a lot of different ways compared to you.
Well, I'm a grown-up different ways compared to you. I don't have any.
I was going to say, can you name them?
Anyway, so we just hosted Easter.
God bless you for all the people that host the holidays. It's fun. I love it, but
it's a lot.
You put in some work, man.
But I will say I love my family because my family has like a hard and fast rule not to be out when the sun goes down. It's like we're all vampires that are afraid. And so everybody will come over to eat and then they will slowly around 3 p.m. be like, it's getting late. It's getting late in the day. And that's literally what happened. Everybody, even including Sophie, our daughter, who is 20 years old. She was like, I want to go home. And so everybody ate and then packed up and left. So it's not like we have these family members that are super hanger-oners and they're here till midnight drinking. And no, we're like a very boring family, but today was good. It was good. You know what I did realize? With Murphy being 7, this is probably the last year of True Belief.
Oh,
True Belief.
There was 14 different times today. She told me how it's not possible and doesn't think this, that, and the other for it. So
that's what here's how I got caught.
Yeah.
We were in the car driving and she said, Mom, I don't think the Easter Bunny is real. And I said, why? And she said, because everything that I got from the Easter Bunny had tags on them, like from the company that made them, you know? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, and I thought this was pretty good for thinking on my feet. I said, yeah, well, you know, the Easter Bunny doesn't technically make the items. It's not like Santa, where Santa has a million elves and you know, they create their own things. And I said, it's different. The Easter Bunny just, you know, gets the merch and then moves the merch. He's in charge of moving it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that bought us this year.
I think we've had our last surprise holidays. I think if anything, she'll do it for us and also so we will put the effort in. I think we've hit the point.
But it does make me sad because it's like you see the questions start entering their mind. When kids are little, they have such beautiful blind faith in things. It's like, yes, there is a man. He goes to every house in the world and he delivers gifts. And in April, there's a rabbit. It's a giant rabbit. And the giant rabbit goes up to every house and hops around and leaves little goodies for boys. And there's something so innocent and, again, beautiful because kids are like, wow, this is so great. And we are so excited. And oh my God, he's going to be here. And and there's just this entire buildup. And I will say it is sad to see that year where the questions start entering their mind of like, is this like is someone playing a trick on me? And that's kind of a bummer. But I will say on the flip side of that, during the holiday season, it's nice to have Sophie and Cooper who are older and they're kind of like the elves now where I'm like, you want to just, okay. And they're happy to do it. It's magical for them to see it through the eyes of, Murphy.
Yeah.
Have you watched White Lotus yet?
So here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
You had it on. You've watched every episode of White Lotus. I was fortunate enough to come in on the last 20 minutes of the very last episode. So I feel like I'm good. I feel like I got it all.
Are you serious? No, you didn't get it. Here's what he did. For the whole season of White Lotus, I've been watching it. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm loving it. And then I'm telling him, please, let's watch this together. I want to have a show where we look at each other and we're like, we got to watch another episode. There's something very cool and magical about that in a relationship. And he, for a while, was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it with you. So I held off. And all my friends are like, can you believe what happened on that last episode of White Lotus? And I am like, well, no, don't tell me because I don't know because I'm waiting. Finally, Ryan told me, I don't want to watch it. You go ahead. So I did. He walks in halfway through the final episode of this last season and he goes, hey, who's that guy? What's that guy saying? Why is she so mad at him? What are they doing? What's their story? And I found myself explaining every single part of it to him. And then we get done. He watched 20 minutes of it. And he goes, yeah, I'm good.
What's more frustrating? That or watching a show or a movie and we start it together and you just Wikipedia what happens in the movie. So you're already done.
I don't know why that upsets you so much, but
you can see how that would be upsetting as well.
No, not really. I don't find that to be upsetting at all. If you like to kind of know, and I do this, and I still thoroughly enjoy the movie, but odds are if I'm watching a movie, I am looking at the Wikipedia to see what happens at the end and who the murderer is. And I still enjoy watching the movie, but it makes him so mad.
Did you do that with White Lotus?
No.
Why?
I didn't. Because I had been so heavy in the social media with White Lotus, like watching clips and stuff, that I kind of put together what ended up happening and I didn't have to look ahead. But still, watching the final episode was so great. And Ryan told me that people who have heard the podcast have actually reached out to him saying, you need to watch the White Lotus. So I don't know. I think we all need to just give up because he watched 20 minutes of it and he thinks he knows it. And he doesn't because the story is so good. And it's a show that I don't know why I'm so passionate about it. It's just so good.
You're so passionate about it because it's a life that you want to live. You want to travel to Thailand and live at the Four Seasons.
Thailand seems freaky to me. You know, like a lot of older dudes. And they do touch on that on this season of White Lotus. It's a lot of older dudes with a lot of money and with much younger chicks with them. And I don't know. It kind of makes you sad.
Is there ever any older women with young dudes? Any cougars with young guys?
Trying to think. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
It's always the other way around. And that's kind of a big thing in season 3. That's like because it's Thailand. Haven't you ever heard people who go to Thailand? No.
I've not. Where was the first season and second season of White Lotus?
The first season was in Hawaii.
Okay.
The second season, you're going to have to look up. If we're being dead honest, I didn't even watch the second season. I watched the first season and I thought, it was okay. And then the second season happened and I just thought the first season was really weird. I'm not really into second season. And then I got so wrapped up in third season and people were talking about it. And it was, to me, and I've told people, skip 1 and 2 and just go straight to season 3. You're going to love it. I don't know where 2 was at. Thailand, this was pretty freaking amazing. It makes me want to go to Thailand, even though, again, a little weird.
It's at the Four Seasons.
Right. I don't want to go to okay, when my brother went to Thailand, he didn't stay at the Four Seasons. Like he rode in a cab with some chickens in the back. So the thing about my brother is he's single. He has no children. He's older than me. And he travels all over. But what he'll do is he's like a snowbird. And he's been this way since he was in his 20s, where he will work in Colorado when it is nice outside and his work is done because he works outside. When it gets cold, he dips out and he goes and lives in Mexico. Now, again, Ryan is not wrong when he says, when I travel, I do like to stay in. I like it to be nice. Doesn't have to be the Four Seasons. But I like it to be nice and comfortable, or else why go? Why would you want to go and stay in a hostel where there's a shared bathroom and just stay home? I know it makes me sound old. My brother prefers it the other way. He's like, staying in a resort is so boring. You have to live with the people. You have to speak their language. And he loves the people of Mexico. He just thinks they're the kindest, most beautiful people. And it's true. He does come back to America. And there's some things where he's like, I don't know, like in Mexico, they really take care of their family. As I get older, I see
you want to be taken care of.
Well, in our culture, it's just like they're old. Let's get them in a nursing home and have someone else watch them till they die, to where in a lot of homes that are Hispanic homes or in Mexico, you take care of your grandparents. They live with you and that you get knowledge from them. And there's just something really amazing about that. And he just loves the culture. So he lives there half of the year and then he comes back to America to work for half of the year. And he lives very simply. He'll find like an Airbnb long-term rental and he'll live in the downtown streets. And I'm like, damn, aren't you afraid of getting your head cut off? Because again, I'm just a basing bitch from Timnath. And when I go to Mexico, I'm like, we do not leave the resort, everybody. And he just laughs and he's like, it's just as dangerous now going to the mall in America. You could just walk into any mall and someone could have a gun or a knife
which just happened at our mall.
Which literally we have a mall that's like 15 minutes from our house and 2 people got shot.
And we were just walking in Old Town last night, downtown, back to our car. And you did not feel comfortable?
Well, see, that's the difference between, I think, a lot of men and women is I think women are internally wired from a very young age, be on the alert. So we went out to dinner with some friends. He parked so far away and we had to walk, which I don't mind walking. I mean, I don't love it, but a front row spot, that's great. But we ended up walking. And as we're walking, we're getting further away from people and lights. And it's getting darker and darker and darker. And soon we're walking like in the dark. And as a woman, I'm like, holy shit, this is not good. But it's weird because I look at Ryan. He's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's different with guys.
True. But also it's fine because I'm looking at all the things. Understand, as we're walking, I'm looking around corners. I'm making sure that I'm on the right side of the street compared to you. So I'm on the lookout. Don't worry. I got you.
Very romantic.
I got you.
If only you'd watch White Lotus, you'd be the perfect man.
Do you want me to be like White Lotus, where I'm an older man just bringing a younger woman to Thailand?
I didn't say I want you to be in White Lotus.
Oh, okay.
But you know what's funny is, and you wouldn't know this, so you wouldn't get the reference, but one of the main characters on the White Lotus is the actor who played Uncle Rico on Napoleon Dynamite, who could throw a football over the mountain.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
And I did not put that together. And when I did, it blew my mind because he plays, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. He plays a man who kills his wife, and his wife had money like the people who owned Walmart.
Okay.
That level of money.
Sure.
So there's a story arc around that and him kind of coming back and showing up. And it's very delicious, which I guess you'll never know.
Oh, man.
Okay, so to change the topic, let's pivot a little bit.
Yeah, so Thailand, White Lotus, Four Seasons, travel, all that. Have you noticed that people, when they're talking about their travel plans, have like their next 3 years of travel planned out? I was talking to a couple people, and I don't know if we're just different in this sense, and maybe we need to get on it, or it's just gotten so expensive if you plan last minute. But I was talking to somebody at work who they told me about their next 3 vacations that they have planned out, and it's up into a year and a half. And the more people I talk to, the more that is the norm, where they're like, okay, so for Thanksgiving this year, we're doing this, spring break next year. And in the summer of next year, we're doing this, that, and the other. And they have kids. And so they're planning around sports and they're planning around activities and travel and whatnot. What are we doing in May? I have no idea.
Yeah,
have
but but listen, are you talking about people who have young children or people who
young children? And
really?
They're planning on, this is a family vacation. This is a me and my spouse vacation. This is a larger everyone vacation. And I'm like, I can't, maybe it's because we can't get anybody in our families to travel ever, because back to your point, they're all homebodies and they can't be out at our own bed before dark. But I'm just seeing, because I like it. I love, my favorite memories are traveling with family and traveling with friends and being out. And like, that's my favorite vacations, my favorite memories. It feels like we can't get anybody to do that, but there's a lot of damn people doing that. And I feel like we're missing the boat.
I do too. I feel like we are missing the memory boat, but I also feel like we're missing the cash boat, because a lot of people we know they don't just go on a vacation where it's like, we're going to Disneyland. They're like, we're going to go on a tour of Europe with our children.
Legit.
And we're going to begin here and we're going to end here. And we're going to go and see Paris. And then we're like, growing up, a vacation in our family was, and I shit you not. Well, that was yours. Yeah. But in my family, there was a Holiday Inn dome, like a Holodome, if anyone remembers how fancy those were, with a pool. Yep. And so as, you know, our vacation, and this wasn't even yearly, this was every couple years, we would rent a hotel room for one night. This was 15 minutes away from our house, but there was a swimming pool, and it was the best. We looked forward to it. It was the best. And I think back to how innocent and how magical that was. I still remember how exciting it was. We have a daughter who did cheer. And so every year we went to Disney World, every year for like a span of like 7 years. Yep. And I remember at the end, it was like, okay, so should we go to the Disneyland park? And the kids were like, we've seen it. We don't want to go. Yeah. We're just going to hang out. They didn't want to go to Disneyland because they had been there, Disney World, because they had been there so many times. It was boring.
But that's the same spot every time. But do you also think because you didn't take vacations, that's a reason that your whole family has to be in their bed by the time that the sun hits?
No, I think we didn't take vacations because we didn't have any money.
No. I'm saying because you didn't take vacations, you didn't do any of that, right? So now, because you didn't take any vacations, you're so used to just being in your bed that's just where you have to be.
Sometimes Ryan talks about my love of my bed, and he doesn't make it strong enough because it is the strongest.
Oh, no, I can make it stronger.
I love it. I love being I love it. My favorite thing at night is to take a hot bath and then to crawl into bed.
But it's your entire family.
My whole family loves it. We all talk about it. We laugh about it. It's a thing.
Right. But like you want to just, if you could, you would just live your life from bed.
I think I would. Yeah.
Yeah. And I am opposite, where I'm like, let's go do things. Let's be out and whatever. And I'd like to travel.
Then why don't you plan a vacation?
That's what I'm talking about.
Then why don't you do it?
I don't think you would like the vacations that I would plan.
Well, yeah, because you would want to take Murphy, who's in second grade, to someplace that's way too, educational. It's way too, and then she's going to be bored, and then you're going to be annoyed that she's bored, and then I'm going to be stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to the Smithsonian. I'm talking about like, let's go to the Muir Woods. Like, let's go see something crazy, the Grand Canyon.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But if I can be fair here and the devil's advocate, you travel a really long way. And I bet the minute you look at it, it's like, wow, holy shit, this is amazing. How did we get here where we have a Grand Canyon? Oh my God, look at how... But then how long does that last? Maybe 20 minutes if you're really being generous, 20 minutes of looking down that hole and going, I will be damned, this is huge. And then it's like, where should we get lunch? and you move on. So you're going to plan an entire trip around that moment. And I get it. I think everybody, I guess, should see these things like the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone or those types of things just to say that they've seen it, I guess. But you know what? If I died tomorrow never going to the Grand Canyon, I'd be okay.
How about this? I get to plan our next vacation, and you have to be willing the entire time to do whatever we do.
So wait, okay, I would take that, but I would also want to know, is this vacation based on what you think I would like? If I were planning a vacation for you, I would do things that you would like. I wouldn't plan a vacation completely based on my likes and be like, surprise, loser, we're laying on the beach today.
Okay.
So would the vacation be, this is a Ryan vacation, or this is a vacation that Ryan planned for Sadie?
Okay, what's better? Every other vacation, we're taking a vacation you like, or taking a vacation I like? Or is it, all right, we're going to take a vacation and half of it's going to be doing stuff I like and half of it's going to be doing stuff you like?
Can I just tell you, I'm laughing that we're like, fine, we'll take one vacation this way. And we don't even go to the Great Wolf Lodge at 45 minutes from our house, but we're like, all right.
That's because I saw 400 people bleeding in the pools.
That's true.
Time we went to Great Wolf
We don't
Lodge.
want to talk trash about Great Wolf Lodge,
Yeah.
but we saw people getting their feet cut and there's blood in the water. And I'm like, should that be there?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's fine.
But where's that level of
time?
where's that level of compromise where it's like, all right, I'll do the things that you want to do.
If you plan it, I mean, I'll go. But what are you planning? What would you even plan? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't plan anything. What are you talking about?
So what I'm saying is I will plan a vacation and you have to be a willing participant in it. Would you go?
I don't know. No, I would go. You know, I feel like, but I'd be pissed at you if you were like, we're going to Iceland. And
Iceland
we're going
is
to be
high on my list, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if we're going to Iceland and we're going to stay in an igloo and we're going to spearfish our dinner. And if it was like, I could see you taking it way too far. Being like, get some mucklucks, you're going to need it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that the differences are stark in that things I would like to do for a vacation. My vacation also typically would be in like activities. Like I like doing things on vacations. I don't like sitting down.
Love it. I love sitting down in different places in the world.
And then after 20 minutes, like your Grand Canyon, well, what are we doing next?
Well, let's go to lunch. That's how it works. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode, and be sure to hit that automatic download. I'm so dumb. I just realized there's a difference between downloads and individual listens, individual downloads and individual listens.
Sure. Because you don't have to download it to listen to it, but it's nice if you do.
It is nice if you do. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check out sadieandfriends.net. This is the final week where you're going to be able to go on and nominate that special teacher for the hot stone massage from Christiana Salon Spa. Everybody have a wonderful day or night, and there'll be a new episode posted tomorrow morning. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. Be sure to head it to listen to me. Be sure to click automatic download, and maybe you could leave a rating. You can do it on Apple where you can actually write things, or you can just give a star rating on Spotify. It's so awesome. I get so excited. I'm a very simple gal, and those stars, they just get me excited. That sounded weird. That sound weird? Before I leave, I just have to say a big thank you to my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Garage Door Service and Sales, they've been in business for decades, literally decades. I mean, like older than me. And how long I've been alive, which I feel like has been a really long time. Oh no, they were chugging away with the day I was born, putting in brand new garage doors, doing different tune-ups. And their work ethic hasn't changed, but you know what has changed? The product, the technology. Whether you need a big job or a little job, they can set you up with whatever you are looking for. My parents, they have an estate gate from Garage Door Service and Sales, and they own a storage facility Guess what? All those big storage doors where you just click the button and the doors go up and down. It's so nice. They love it. And they got it done through Garage Door Service and Sales. They've got great financing. And again, they work with homeowners with just a spring that's maybe a little too squeaky for you, or they work with big companies with if you got big construction needs. It's Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.